Alex Gleason, as I mentioned, put out a brief post recently this week. If you don't know, Alex Gleason is both one of the lead developers of the Pleroma, though he has been kicked off of that, which is detailed in this little blog post. And he's also the admin of spinster.xyz, which, if you don't know, is one of the largest Fediverse nodes and also a feminist node. It is, even though it's ran by a guy, he's a male. He's a male feminist. He's a TERF, basically. It's a UK. That's more fair than to say it's like a feminist site. It's a UK TERF site, and Alex Gleason is like a UK TERF. So, all these women who have been banned off Twitter and Facebook and shit for calling out the eternal true have taken up residence on Spinster, which is a very strange alliance with the other nodes on the Fediverse. But it's curated, and the Fediverse, timeline is like it's very blacklisted. So a lot of like the porn sites and stuff aren't on their timeline, and it works out, which is the point of the Fediverse, is that people can tailor their nodes to how they like. Now, despite Alex Gleason's long contribution history with Pleroma, he has parted ways and he has forked Pleroma to the Soapbox node, which we use as a front end to kind of, just to show you real quick. Soapbox.kiwifarms. We run both front ends, but we use Pleroma as the back end right now. I can't show you this is Pleroma, and Soapbox looks a lot more like the actual Kiwi Farms. I wonder if I can just show you my timeline and skip the login screen. Our Pleroma instance is kind of jank because Crunklord prefers Pleroma, so he doesn't want to like put in all the time to switch us over to Soapbox, but I'm trying to convince him to, because I like it more. Like, this is how it looks for Pleroma. This is how it looks for Soapbox. It looks a lot more like Twitter, like a conventional social media site, and this kind of looks like its own thing. But he details in his blog post that Pleroma was bootstrapped by a cam model like porn site with $2 million, and their team received that money for some time, and then eventually that campsite backed out. He establishes here Pleroma was created by a nice German man pretending to be an anime girl, and he goes by Lane. So the lead developer of Pleroma is Lane, which is why everything is like Lane theme, and the default username is Lane. And like when you go to make a tweet, the placeholder text is "Let's all love Lane," which is all references to a really, really, really shitty anime. In fact, now that I think about this, I'm going to take a detour. I received in my email some time ago a message from somebody named Kurt Eichenwald at kurteichenwaldanime-masturbator@gmail.com. And he sends me an email, and it is a genuine, I think, 10-20 paragraph expository essay on Lane, called Lane, a Dissertation. I will read you the first paragraph. I've never read this before. Dearest Josh, after our first correspondence and a treatise in defense of anime, it seems there is more to address in your fanatical hatred, namely a certain show that you have mentioned on several occasions, Lane Serial Experiments. It is ironic that a show so uniquely suited to someone of your line of work and so prescient for its time was released. For the time it was released, would go so unappreciated by you and many others. I know you to be a fat American and are thus incapable of interpreting media on any level other than literal narrative. So I've written this to be a very well-researched essay in order to convince you of Lane's undeniable brilliance, which was so obvious to me since the first minute of episode 1. Lane sucks. It is 8 fucking hours of and long shots of electrical like transformers outside, and it's basically a story about how a little girl tries to read her email but ends up becoming like an immortal like cybernetic goddess because she goes onto the computer. But it sucks, and it has a couple good songs in the OST, and that's it. So the only people who like Lane, who watch Lane, are trannies. Without any exception, Lane is for people who question their gender identity and want to become a computer goddess. It sucks. So, on that note, Alex Leeson is dealing with one of these troons who received $2 million from a company called MyFreeCams to develop Pleroma, and this is what they got. And then after 2 years, they said, fuck that, we're done with that. Alex Leeson worked for free. I think he received a little bit of money. Nobody paid him. So he did it literally for free. Everybody point and laugh at him. Lane got paid $2 million and was already rich off cryptocurrency. And then Alex Gleason, for the honor of Miladies on Spencer.xyz, donated 300 commits to this funded project, which he received none of. And he copes by saying, I didn't want to receive porn money anyways, but that's a cope. Money is money. It's all dirty. If you take money and you test it for cocaine, you're going to find it. It's all drug money. It's all porn money. It's all oil money. It's all the handless children of African countries' money. Money's money. But he goes on to say that he was kicked off for being a transphobe because he contributes to Spencer, or he runs at Spencer XYZ. And funny enough, he points out, if you go to the homepage of their Pleroma site, they have a list of featured instances, and conspicuously missing is Spencer XYZ and KiwiFarms.cc, the two largest instances running Pleroma, because both of those sites happen to be not kosher with the transgender folks. And then he goes on. He complains. The main point of contention at the very end of his contribution cycle was that when he forked Pleroma so he could make Soapbox, he tried to submit a patch that could read metadata better, so that if you linked to a Soapbox site from Pleroma, the info box would correctly render the metadata from that page, which is a good commit to make. However, very, very, very childishly, the maintainers of Pleroma did not want to merge in this because they did not want Soapbox to have any more adaptation. It's literally one of the most petty and childish fucking things you could possibly imagine. So they parted ways mostly over that. And then he says, try Soapbox, which I would actually suggest. It's soapbox.kiwifarms.cc. Great site. We have great posters, such as Holocaust, who will responds to me every single time I post something, and I have him on mute because I have never, ever wanted to reply to any of his messages. So I just don't see them anymore. So there you go. There's my pitch. I have some more content related to the Fediverse here in a moment, but I'll get to that. Let me detour now to Wings of Redemption. I think I mentioned last stream, because it happened on Saturday, that Wings of Redemption was banned. And I guess I shouldn't have laughed at Wings. I then also got a strike on YouTube. But he was banned on YouTube and on Twitch for 1 week because he called somebody the D word. And of course, I mean Downey. And during that time, his wife also had a Twitch channel. And according to him, he was banned for ban evasion because of his wife's channel. But apparently his wife did not stream at all during the time that he was banned, or between the time that he was banned and when he received his permanent ban on Twitch. So if he does not, I think that he'll probably get his account back. I think that this is just people like mass reporting his fucking account, and some asshole who didn't want to deal with it just banned him. But it's like, you know, if not, he'll just switch back to YouTube, I guess. He's going to have a good time and have a good stream no matter what. The trolls can't keep him down. I'm rooting for my boy Jordy, because the people against him are bigger fucking retards than he is. That's the update on Wings of Redemption. I mentioned that I had a little bit of side content. Oh, I muted myself too. I was trying to hide my live page so I could open my tab switcher secretly and not spoil it. But I mentioned I had some stuff that had happened recently that was not part of my usual rotation, suggested by one of the mods on the site. Weeks ago it was suggested, but now I'm getting around to it because why not? I don't know anything about this sector of the YouTube internet community. I know very little about it. But this is Squizzy. She is a chubby Korean thought. Australian Korean thought, technically. And her name is Hyojin Choi. She grew up in Australia, and she started publishing really hideous shit on DeviantArt like this. Meet the artist, Hyojin, she, they, likes monkeys, the gym, getting lung cancer, which I guess means she smokes. Because for some reason, Koreans still smoke. I don't know why. Dungeons and Dragons. Dislikes League of Legends and people who play League of Legends, which is very passe, whatever. She meets Pyrocynical, and who is another YouTuber. Well, she's not a YouTuber. She meets Pyrocynical, who is a famous YouTuber, and they kind of hit it off. This is a picture of them. I guess he's like a Nordic or like Dutch or something. I would guess Dutch, and she's like this little chubby Korean chick, so they look really awkward together. He looks like a libertarian in this picture. And I guess the relationship, I don't know, have details on their relationship on my notes, but I'm assuming that she was horrific to be around, because now he's like a gay furry fart fetishist who literally does not ask anyone their age or gender when he does fart role plays with them. So whatever she's done is like so terrible that he no longer has any interest in like realistic sex. Now, she breaks up with Pyro, so they're no longer a thing. There's not like a lot of details about this. And she continues her own like internet career, mostly by just being a thought. She says here, and I just realized that her handle on Twitch or on Twitter is farting ballsack, which is very also random. She says, I can't wait for my nudes to be leaked because they look really good and my honkers are huge. Someone hack into my Discord and leak my nudes. Do it. I don't fucking care. And a lot of her stuff is just like Coomer baiting, like June-esque. Like, haha, I'm a hoe slut, but I'm not desperate enough to open an OnlyFans yet because you guys still give me your money as it is, and I don't need to. But she maintains some relevance. And then in 2019, her friend Che alleges that Slazo, another popular YouTuber he does like really inoffensive, shitty like comedy videos on YouTube, raped her friend. And they published this Google Doc expose, which was really popular, specifically in 2019. There was like 8 of these Google Docs, I was raped by a YouTuber things, published like one after the other. And the evidence for this is mostly just really benign chat logs, which prove absolutely nothing. And Slazo still gets canceled. But one of the accusers is a guy named I'm Alex, who, from what I understand, was Slazo's roommate at the time that the rape allegedly occurred. So he's now on the side of cancel Slazo for this rape, which happened at a convention that I'm Alex was also at the time that they were roommates. And he apparently knew nothing about this and then tries to cancel him years later. But then somebody in the group of accusers leaks a DM. And the DMs prove that Hyojin, the Asian chick, is trying to actively, maliciously conspire to ruin Slazo for no apparent reason. Just outright saying, I want to fuck with his career. And they manipulated the evidence. They kind of took things out of context to make them look worse than they were. And she personally edited the Google Doc to make it more effective as a hard-hitting accusation. Turkey Tom does a video on this, defends Slazo, and leaks his own things from accusers in his DMs. From what I understand, the accuser is anonymous, that says she was abusive to her dog because, of course, she's Asian, And dogs are food and accessories only, not friend. But this is enough where Slazo is spared cancellation. And this is my boy here, weighing if the Asian girl was worth it. He ate the rice. He paid the price. He's lucky to get away with his head attached to his shoulders. But as I mentioned, Hyojin continues onward. She acts like a hoe. She makes some jokes about starting an OnlyFans and how she'll post her nudes if Bernie Sanders gets elected, and that's basically her entire like career is saying shit like this. And then finally, recently, her ex-boyfriend known as Ed accuses her of abusing him psychologically. I said psychically in my notes, like she was tormenting him with psi powers, which I assume must have been a thing because I don't know how you can physically abuse somebody. Because he also accused her of physical abuse, which I mean I guess she's like a little, she can like slap him and punch him and throw shit at him, but I don't know. She's very small. I feel like you should have the backbone to walk away. Ed did not and decides to cancel her. And it works. People believe that she is a menace and is physically and emotionally abusive. And also leaks like this where she says, "No, you stupid fucking neighbor. Fuck you, you piece of shit. You are the worst person I've ever spoken to. I hope you fall in the toilet, you backwards ass eating self-human centipede neighbor looking ass Canadian beaver teeth looking ass shithead. Get a life in the sewers and make a living off drinking the cancer leaking out of your colon love tunnel, you dirty sand neighbor." So tweets like this made people think she must be a bad person, and it's time to least racist Asian person. It's funny because it's true. So she gets canceled, and then she publishes after 2 weeks of silence on August 2nd, so 10 days ago. She comes out of the quiet zone, and she says this. "Hey, Ed, I want you to know that I am sorry. I've been going to therapy for a bit, and I'm still on that journey. I've seen progress in myself, but I still want to push for more change. I'm sorry for not making that change earlier. It would have prevented so much pain that I have caused. I'm sorry. Ed had every right to post this because victims are allowed to talk about their abusers, especially if it'll help with the healing process. I'm not saying that this fixes everything, of course. I just know that it needed to be posted. This is all completely fair and justified. I felt like my private apology to Ed was sincere, but I get why it didn't come across that way, and my snap reaction was just me being a cunt. There's nothing I can do to undo the things I've done, and I'm disappointed, angered, and sickened. And I've disappointed, angered, and sickened people with what I have done. I'm sorry, and I don't want this to happen again. I look at the person I was a couple years ago, and even if I have changed, those were my actions, and I understand that this is deserved. Actions have repercussions, and every bad decision I've made has hurt people. I know that no matter how much I've changed in the future, that I'll still be that person in people's eyes. I'm sorry for all that. There isn't much more I can say other than that I'm sorry. I'm going to reflect on this for a long time and take a very, very long break. I'm not going to come back till I'm better. I just hope that I can show that change clearly for people to see in the future." That last line reads like a quick Christian thing in his apologies. Like, I'm going to meditate on this and consult with the gods, and I'll get back to you in a bit. So such is the cycle of e-fame. You start out on DeviantArt making weird furry porn of your favorite YouTubers. And then they finally talk to you, and you become a little bit e-famous because you're hanging out with famous people. And then you accuse somebody of rape, and then somebody accuses you of being an abusive asshole. And then you disappear for a little while, and I guess you started OnlyFans in a year. And that's it. That's the story of Hyojin Choi, also known as Quigsy. There's apparently a whole like circle of weird drama in the pyrocynical sphere, and I don't know anything about pyrocynical because I am not a furry, and only furries seem to know about pyrocynical. So I'm assuming he's like a weird popu fur, as they like to call them. Play the bit where she talks about anal prolapse. Where? Is that in the thread? What anal prolapse? This? Make up with Slazo. It's not in the thread. I can't find it. I'll just search prolapse. Oh, here. From P's deck. Okay, let's see what this is. 2 minutes. Here we go. Hello. Can you guys hear anything?
Get to you, buddy, but I farted so hard I prolapsed is not an improvement on I farted so hard I shot myself.
It's so much worse.
I also didn't prolapse.
You just said like you did.
Prolapsed.
Is prolapsing the one where he goes inside out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, prolapse is when your ass. Oh wait, yes, it is.
That's not fair.
Have you seen that video on?
No.
No, don't, no.
Centipede.
Don't call it a centipede.
That's crazy
fuck.
that all of that was just censored.
I know, I was about to say.
Holy fuck.
I always thought it looked like a red slinky.
Yeah,
I said worse.
the N-word is gonna be in this.
Oh,
is gonna be in this podcast so much.
Ooh, she's grating. That's the first time I've heard her talk. That's fucking grating. She's on her way to become a VTuber.
In this podcast so much.
A Paul stretched N-word.
Now that you mention it, it does look more like a red slinky than a red centipede. You're right.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
You know, like
Yogen,
traffic
once again,
cones, like,
you know how
imagine
you know how you keep going. Why can't I have a regular conversation? Why does everyone tell me to shut up? It's because
Imagine
of
a
this.
traffic cone, but it's like kind of look like that, like an
Shut
upside down
up!
traffic cone.
No, it's not a traffic cone. Traffic cones have like an angle to them.
This is
I like how the other people in this conversation are just like, you know how everybody tells you to shut the fuck up? Like, yeah, I can imagine.
traffic cone. Traffic cones have like an angle to them.
This
is more like a
isn't going
tube.
in. I veto this.
Oh, like those old toys that, like, when you squeeze them, they just shoot up.
I veto this shit.
No. It's not fast either. It's
I
like
also
dude
veto.
worm.
What's the worst thing you
veto.
sent in a group chat?
I'm gay.
David,
I would drive a Honda CR-V through this crowd of people.
dinner at your parents is not a group chat.
Hang on, and we're back, David.
And they had to kick her out of the group chat, I guess. She was too obnoxious. Wasn't Flamenco into prolapse? Am I remembering that correctly? That's a lofty accusation. You can't just say somebody's into prolapse like that. No, I don't know why. The words flamenco and prolapse are just connected in my brain. There's some squishy gray matter there. It's like sticky tack between your fingers. He likes anal prolapse sucking even. No. You're full of shit. Well, that's a power couple. I ship that. You get this annoying bitch a fucking VTuber avatar and you hook her up with flamenco. Now that's a million subscribers on YouTube. That's a power couple. That's a gold play button. I'm shipping this. I am officially submitting my ship with the UK Bureau of Ships, and this is how do I Hyojin Choi or Squixie and Flamenco. Joshua Choi Squix Flum Squix Flaxy. I need a word for the ship. Flamjin Choi. There we go. Flamjin Choi. Make it happen. Hey, you want to ship Chantal with Noi? You're really fucking late with that. Isn't she already at him? Is she really? Who the fuck would subscribe to this woman? 94 videos registered December 25th, 2012. And she has 965,000 on YouTube. That is fucking nuts. How is this a thing? Okay. You know what? We're gonna watch a video. Because now I'm morbidly curious. What the fuck? How this person has 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Okay, so apparently that yellow thing... Okay. Coomer Bait. That's what it is. She has a channel that has like the SEO for kids, but then she uses like things like this that for thumbnails, and young like preteens and stuff will click it and subscribe because they hear a woman and they think it's funny. That's what it is. Gaining sentience 1 month ago. Okay, I'll play this.
Do you guys remember the first time you gained sentience? You know, it's when you transition from a drooling meat baby to a conscious human being with thoughts.
Was this like a
So you go
essay?
from ooh ooh I want milky milky to
I was neurologically wired to look around for berries and nuts and just vibe for the rest of time. And now I'm
now from what I've read.
So she's just like an animator and she makes little comedy sketches. Oh, okay. Whatever, I get it. I'm going with my initial thing is that this stuff is what gets the subscribers there. Oh, and then like pandering to Five Nights at Freddy's and shit. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, I'm done talking about the Asian. We will continue with the show.